Today we are looking at a Chalk Farms ball tray kit. We have bought the design from the gentleman who used to own Chalk Farms ball trays, and we are currently producing them off of his design. They are exactly like what Chalk Farms used to produce. We have taken that over. We are making this video to demonstrate how these ball trays work and go over how to install the ball trays inside of a grain cleaner that has rockers. Rockers allow you to adjust the pitch of the screens so that you can get more product through the machine per hour. We've had a few questions about how to install this ball tray system. You can see that we have a installed ball tray here. That's how it looks. You can see that the screen rails are installed properly. You can see how they clamp in. They go in right underneath of the screens. This is the screen rail right here, right there. And then these shelves right here are where the ball tray sits. Now we can see that we had to cut away part of the steel on the angle iron. You can see how we did that. We just used an angle grinder with a 1/8 inch cutting wheel, a slicing wheel on an angle grinder. What you would do is you would put this in there. You put the rail up against the rocker here, and then you would mark with a marker right there and right there the material you need to remove. You can also see at the back end of the rocker right there, the rail, the Chalk Farms ball tray rail is screwed in right there at the end of my finger. So it gets screwed in there, and then there are screws that get shot in to the rocker. Note that we do not want to use screws that are too long. If the screws are too long, they will go into the sidewall of the shoe, and then you will not be able to adjust your rocker anymore. We can see how they were marked. Again, you put the ball tray rail in, and then you mark the areas that you need to remove material. You can see there's a bit of a Sharpie mark left over. You can see how those are notched out. Now, a good way to keep these square is to take a measuring tape and measure from there to there, and then from there to there. You can see that there's a mark left over right there at the end of my finger. So you put the rail in here. Once you've got all of the notching done, then you measure this and mark it, and then when you slide your rail in here, we know that it needs to be up against the mark that we scribed onto the wood. You can see how it goes in there. You can see how it's supposed to look from the top. Looking over the top of the seed cleaner down into the shoe. We can see that the ball tray is supposed to go up to the back of the rocker there. There should be no gap in between this part right here and that part. And now that we've shown you how the ball tray rails are installed, we will go ahead and put balls in each compartment. We're going to put 5 balls per compartment, 5 balls, etc., etc. Another 5 balls per roughly 8-inch by 16-inch compartment. Note that this video can be used across all models with rockers, no matter what the width is. This is a 7 series. This can be used on 8 series, 9 series, and anything that has a different size screen. It is essentially just placing the rails onto the rocker. Okay, we have loaded the trays with balls. You can see we've got 5 balls per compartment. And now we are ready to slide in our screens. And now we can see what it looks like after we've slid in the first screen. We can see that there is roughly 1/8 of an inch. Hopefully I can get my camera to focus. There is roughly 1/8 of an inch between the top of the ball tray and the screen rail. We do not want the ball tray to be too high, or you will not be able to get your screen in. It can be a little lower, but I wouldn't make it any lower than 1/8 of an inch below the rail of the screen. There may be some variance between mills. Looking at the tape measure going from the bottom of the screen rail going down to the top of the ball tray rail, we can see that it is at exactly 1 5/8 of an inch. So the distance between your screen rail and the top of the ball tray rail should be 1 5/8 inches. Note that you want to make sure that this end of the ball tray rail is at 1 5/8 inches, and then you want to measure the other end down there at the discharge so that you know your ball tray rail is level and is where it's supposed to be. This concludes the video. Feel free to call us if you have any questions. This ball tray kit can be bought from us here at Commodity Traders International. We can make it for just about any model of grain cleaner. Thank you for watching.